really proud of the defense throwing a shutout in the second half. I thought that was really good. I thought they swarmed to the ball um, offensively, being able to rush for 400 yards and coming out in the second half and having a really good third quarter, as we talked about in the locker room. Really pleased with that. Just want to keep building on this. I think there's a lot of stuff we have to get better at, but just moving forward, just continuing to build and get better. We're at the halfway point in the season, just trying to figure out ways to get better and to build on this win moving forward.
Matt, there were a couple times tonight out there that you had an all-true freshman backfield. Just talk about John Rice Plumlee, Jerry Neely, Snoop Connor. They all showed up.
Early in the first quarter, John Rice, made some plays with his feet, and we, got 10 early points. Then we kind of stalled out in the second quarter, but it was really good to see Jerry and break a long one, then Snoop break a long one, and then John Rice being able to hurt people with his feet. It's just and then you saw Scotty in there break another touchdown. So you have the kind of the old head that's back there, and he was fresh in the fourth quarter. So I just really proud of those guys because they continue to get better and better, and the stage didn't look too big for them tonight.
Matt, what did you see this week to kind of go with all in on John Rice at quarterback?
We thought he worked well. Matt still wasn't 100% healthy to be able to run the football. I think he could throw it if we needed him to. So hopefully he'll continue to get better and better, and we'll be able to use him some. And people have to prepare for both.
What was the change in the defense in your mind? Just better execution, or?
You know what? They played well. To me, it looked like they had the energy, and I just want to. I should have done it in my opening, but just to thank the crowd. The students showed up, and I think we played with energy, and I think the crowd had a big hand in that. I thought the atmosphere was great. The students were there early, and it made a big difference on those third downs. And we were getting off the field, and they had some noise, and they had trouble checking, and it was a true home field advantage tonight, and that was a big deal for us.
Coach, just building off that, this week holding Vandy to two for 17 on third downs, compared to last week, and was that a big point of emphasis really to your team this week?
Yeah, that was the number one point of emphasis on defense, was trying to get off the field. A number of big plays against Alabama, especially in that second quarter, happened on third down, so we spent a lot of time on that. Credit Coach McIntyre and his staff. They were well prepared. The players executed the scheme, and I thought they did an outstanding job getting off the field on third down.
Coach, can you talk about just Lakia Henry's performance tonight?
Yeah, Lakia, I tell you what, he's starting to become more and more of a leader. He's starting to grow into that leadership role, being that linebacker, making the checks and the calls. He made several big plays tonight in the run game, but also some stuff that's not going to show up in the underneath passing game where he was running with some tight ends down the field. I thought he played really well tonight.
So, Coach, you talk a lot about John Rice's performance on the ground. Talk a little bit about how you felt he did through the air tonight.
Yeah, I think we have to continue to improve on that and take advantage of some one-on-ones. You saw a big play to Jaden Jackson in the fourth quarter, and take advantage of those one-on-ones. And I think he'll continue to improve. Again, we're not a finished product by any stretch. We have a lot to get better at, but we'll only continue to get better as they go. But I think as much as we're running the ball, to be able to take advantage of some one-on-one shots with our wideouts, we have some guys that are capable of winning some one-on-ones. And I think we're going to need to do that moving forward.
Coach, a lot of talk about the freshmen on the offense, but you guys started 2 true freshman DBs as well. What have you seen from those guys and Stanley and Prince over the course of the last few weeks?
They just, we tell those guys to be ready when their time comes, and they stepped in there and they made some plays. Again, there's a lot of youth and there's some mistakes out there, but you see them flying around and making plays. You see the speed that they play with. Jay is a physical player. He's not scared to come down and tackle. So just really, really pleased. And again, they will continue to get better.
Coach, last year at the midpoint, you guys were 4-2, and this year you're 3-3. Last year you kind of faded down the stretch. Do you feel like this team is better built for the second half of the season to kind of finish strong?
Yeah, I don't want to focus on last year. I want to focus on this team getting better next week. And I think we are continuing to get better each week, and we have to continue to do that. We have to come back to work tomorrow, watch the tape, let's fix what we need to fix, and let's build on the positives, and let's move forward and try to get better, because we got a huge challenge going on the road to Missouri.
Matt, you talk about moving forward. What can a convincing conference win like this do for your team in terms of confidence moving forward?
Well, I think it just I'm happy because they're getting some. They're happy in the locker room, and to stand in front of a happy locker room after all the work they put in, they keep fighting and scratching and clawing. It's good to get some to get the feeling and the confidence going, and I think it gives them some reassurance. Hey, we're moving forward. We're getting better. Let's keep putting the work in, and we're going to continue to get better moving forward. Questions up top? Any questions up there? All right. Get a mic in the middle here.
Matt, today we saw a lot of rotation on the offensive line, specifically Ben Brown at center. He spelled Eli a little bit. Early on, it seemed like that Vanderbilt got more pressure on the quarterback. Later half of the game, it appeared that they had him pretty wore down. What went into that process, and when did you decide to start rolling some people in and out?
Yeah, we want to try to keep guys fresh. We played Nick Broker. We kind of have a three-man rotation there at tackle with him, Mike Howard, and Alex. We're trying to continue to work Jalen Cunningham in there more, so that is really good to see him in there. And then obviously trying to rest Eli some by moving Ben around and moving Royce over to right guard. So I think the more you can stay fresh, the better off you're going to be.